morning or good afternoon, wherever you are around the world, and welcome back to the Next Gen iRacing Legends. Round 5 coming to you here from Tsukuba in eastern Japan, just 60 kilometers north of the capital of Tokyo. This track is relatively new to iRacing. It came along in the late part of last year, and Tsukuba circuit in Japan, among many great circuits in Japan, to name a few: Twin-Rin, Motegi, Suzuka, Fuji, but Tsukuba is up there as a classic in its own right, being that it's quite a short track, only 2 kilometers in length, and it's almost like a go-karting circuit. It's that small, but it's the home tonight of our Next Gen Legends, and the Legends cars, being such small cars on such a small track, it is relatively suitable. So welcome everyone along to tonight's live stream, whether you're watching on Next Gen Facebook channel. Do give them a like and a follow. But also, if you're watching on Crest Autosport TV on YouTube or Twitch, do give us a like and subscribe as well. Welcome along to tonight's iRacing. Round 5 of the season now. This was meant to be round number 6 of the championship. However, last week was aborted to accommodate for a week off for all the drivers. Give everyone a little bit of a rest, and now they're coming back for round 5 good and strong. So this is the schedule for the season. We started off all them weeks ago, round 1 at Silverstone National Circuit on the 2nd of August. Then we went to the new, at the time, Red Bull Ring Circuit, the national layout, which is the lower part of the circuit. Snetterton 300, the full 300 layout for round 3, and what a round that was. And the last time I commentated on these Legends races. Zandvoort I unfortunately missed, but that looked like a pretty decent round. Good coverage from Next Gen's resident live streamer, so huge thank you to them. And today round 5 at the Tsukuba circuit, and next week we are off to the Gilles Villeneuve circuit, aka Montreal, for round 6 of the season. Round 7 will be at the Alton Park International Circuit, followed by round 8 at the Nürburgring Sprint Strecke, which is a shorter version of the GP circuit we know quite well. Round 9 is the Donington Park National Circuit, which will follow with the WeatherTech Raceway of round 10, WeatherTech Raceway, aka we know it as Laguna Seca. Seeing these cars go through the corkscrew is going to be quite entertaining, and we can count on that. Round 11 will be at the Barcelona Circuit de Catalunya for the shortened national layout of that circuit. Round 12, the finale, will be, of course, at the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. Of course, we are a series consisting of mostly British drivers, and to these British drivers, homage in racing to them is the British touring cars. So to finish at Brands Hatch Indy is quite appropriate for these drivers. An entertaining circuit and an entertaining championship. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of qualifying, which will start in just over 5 minutes time, we will go over the championship standings coming into tonight's round. So this is the Pro category standings. We have 2 categories in the championship, Pro and Pro-Am. Pro drivers are those who race in real life, in racing cars from Ginettas to BMWs to touring cars for some of these, GTs, etc, etc. Gordon Mutch tops the table with a decent round at Zandvoort. He leads the championship by 39 points from Luke Bennett, and followed by 3rd place, who's caught up to 2nd place a little bit, is Mikey Doble in 3rd place. Bobby Thompson's in 4th place, followed by Liam McNally. Stephen Daly takes 6th place with Seb Hopkins in 7th. William Chadwick 8th. 9th is Keith Dempsey, and 10th, rounding off the top 10, is Donovan Strauss. The Pro-Am category, which are drivers who are not real-life drivers, but they are sim racers, and is headed by our admin, in fact. Jamie Dory leading the championship, but only by 14 points, followed by William Foyle of Crest Autosport. But he's in a next-gen sandwich, it seems, as they're waving the flag for the host team. Lee Horn in 3rd place there, just 4 points behind William Foyle in 3rd place. Wayne Douglas in 4th position, followed by Paul Heo. 6th place is Blaze Crawford. 7th is Ollie Peters. Robert Lundgren in 8th. Robert Bearable in 9th, followed by Deegan Furclow, rounding off the top 10 of the Pro-Am category. So plenty to follow. As you can see, there's colour codes to identify each driver. The light blue colour are the Pro-Am drivers, and the black numbered drivers are the pro category drivers. So as you can see at the top of the standings, we have Blaze Crawford in the light blue number, and the black, solid black number behind number 88 there is the pro category leader in practice at the moment, Mikey Doble, in his Legends livery that resembles his Janetta livery, which is very, very cool indeed. And in fact, Mikey Doble just goes top of the standings as practice is tailing off. We do have 13 drivers in the server at the moment, so it's a relatively small grid for what we've seen from the Legends, but that doesn't mean it's going to be any less exciting. These drivers do provide a huge form of entertainment for us week in, week out, in cars that you could compare to other smaller cars in British racing, such as Minis. But these cars are a little bit different. They're a little bit more open-wheeled, a little bit less coverage over the wheels, so wheel-to-wheel contact is well, frowned upon when you look at what it can actually do to these cars when you make contact with one another. So it is close, intense racing because they're relatively slow cars, but very small cars at the same time. It means you can get some close, compact racing, but the minute you do make a little bit of contact, it gets a little bit tricky, a little bit topsy-turvy, race-ending situations, that sort of thing. So Mikey Doble and Blaze Crawford are the only ones in the 1-minute 2s at the moment. The others in the 1-minute 3s, and we've actually had a few more drivers join the server at the last minute here. Maybe the alarm clocks went off during their nap and they've quickly dashed to the sim to get on board in the races here. But Gordon Much and Luke Bennett have joined us, them two top of the standings. So Mikey Doble might have thought until a few minutes ago, well, I might well be chance to get some good points on my championship rivals here, but that might have been halted. Gordon Much and Luke Bennett, it remains to be seen how much practice they've done for this race tonight though, but they are drivers with very high iRating, with high credibility, so it might not take them very long to learn this track. It's got to be said. Thank you, Katie Eames, in the comments for the comments. Yes, I was away putting a ring on my finger, so to speak. It's good to be back in the sim racing seat. Newly married man. Just over 1 minute remaining. A lot of drivers flooding out to get a little bit more practice in just before qualifying starts. Now with this track, it's a little bit banked on some corners, and as we saw with Zandvoort, if you watched the Zandvoort Dutch Grand Prix in Formula 1 the other day, the banked corners causing quite a bit of grief for the tyres in terms of tyre wear, and we see it with oval racing as well, particularly NASCAR and IndyCar and these Legends cars in fact. Banked corners do cause quite significant tyre wear, so as you can see Mikey Doble coming around this corner here is quite banked, not very high banking, but it will certainly put a bit more pressure on that far front tyre, far being the outside tyre, and we might see quite a bit of tyre wear. Although it's a short track, 1 minute 2, there are quite a few corners on this circuit. We'll do a full lap of the circuit very, very shortly. Just about to end practice here. We'll head straight into qualifying, ready for some action. Mikey Doble top of practice timings at the moment. This is what Mikey Doble did last season. At the beginning of the season he was a little bit quiet, but then he comes into his own later on in the season. Let me just check our championship stats. Give me a minute just to open them up, but I don't think Mikey Doble's won a race yet this season. I might be hugely incorrect with that. We'll just see. We look at the season stats. I'm not able to put them on the screen for you, but the drivers with wins this season are Gordon Much on 5, Luke Bennett on 4. Bobby Thompson surprisingly hasn't won a race yet, and neither has Mikey Doble, but he's very close to these top 2 in the championship. Liam McNaley's won 2 races, and Keith Dempsey has won 1. So it's very much a championship between 2 drivers, but Mikey Doble is there lurking around. He hasn't won a race, as I said, but his average finish is very close to that of Gordon Much and Luke Bennett. But the drivers filtering out for qualifying here, as you can see, all of them flooding out the pits and looking for track position. These drivers will want to get themselves in amongst their teammates. This track's not really one for drafting, although I say that, usually I'm wrong about that, but yeah, it's one you definitely want to use momentum and adrenaline on. Be pushing hard behind another driver to get the most out of yourself and the car. This is one of the longest straights on the circuit here. These drivers pull over to let others by. And in fact, we will go with Mikey Doble. In fact, we just mentioned him. Mikey Doble is going to take us on a lap of this circuit, seeing as he was quickest in practice. You can just see in the distance there, there's another circuit to the left of this. That's actually available on iRacing. It's a little like the Jefferson circuit at Summit Point. If you are an iRacing fan, you'll be familiar with that. But it's a bit like a go-karting circuit, just offset from the circuit here at Tsukuba. I think it is a go-karting circuit, which is pretty cool. Go-karting on iRacing? Yes, please. But this is a lap of Tsukuba. Straight across the line there. Not much time between the last corner and the start-finish line. Into turn 1 we go. And let's bring up a track map. Here we go. And we're going around that first corner. Long right-hander there. And then into a quick S's here. Left, then right, and then braking into a heavy banked hairpin. Hard to the left, hugging the inside curb. On the power, easing out, and then it'll be a 90-degree right-hander. Then we'll go under the Dunlop Bridge, which looks a bit like the one that used to be at Donington Park. Long left-hander flat out here, but it'll be very tricky on the rear end here. Braking hard into the right-hander here. Highest banking on the circuit. Bleeds it out of the corner, using that oversteer to get the car to the outside of the circuit. Just maintaining control down this main straight here, and then it's a long right-hander which will end the circuit here. Very cool corner this is. Just bleed it on the brakes, feather on the throttle, get it a late apex, and then filter it out to the outer curve here where you can take all of the runoff strip there. And that is a lap of Tsukuba. Very quick indeed, but Mikey Dover goes top with a 1 minute 2.8. That in fact beat his practice time. So that is rather impressive straight away from Mikey Doble. Gordon Much straight away to the top of the standings. He didn't do a lap in practice, but straight away goes top of the standings on a 1 minute 2.7. How good is he? Oh, dear me. Pretty impressive from him. Blaze Crawford, top of the Pro Am category drivers at the moment in qualifying, but second place is leader in the championship, so a very, very good place for him to be is Jamie Dory, the albino gorilla as he loves to call himself. As you can tell by that picture, rather appropriate. Luke Bennett, who hasn't had much practice either, in the Frosties livery there, goes fourth place overall, third in his category, in the number 1 car there. Lucky to Jamie Dory yet again. 7th overall now with a few drivers crossing the line. Donovan Strauss has pulled over to the side there, but he's gone 3rd. Looking at Liam McNally here. There's a couple of drivers here with new team names. You probably would have noticed there's a few new liveries as well. But the team name you can see there, Barracuda Motorsport, sported by Liam McNally. There's quite a few drivers part of that team. 5 drivers to be precise, and I've got to try and get these right. Gordon Much is one of them. Liam McNally, of course, is the other. The team headed by Bobby Thompson. William Chadwick is part of the team, and Luke Bennett is the 5th driver of the team. So it's quite the roster of drivers, Barracuda Motorsport. There is no team's championship here, or no team's points being counted, but they're sporting their liveries, they're representing their teams, and it's good coverage from themselves and their teams as William Ford takes a spin in the 3rd sector there, and straight into the hay bales there. What that means he'll have to reset to the pits. William Ford struggling down there, 1.5 seconds off the pace. I speak to him on Discord beforehand, and he is struggling a little bit with this track, just can't seem to get to grips with it. We're looking at Deegan Thurklow. He was one of the first drivers in the server, very keen to get cracking in this race. Number 3 car, and he's got a livery very reminiscent of Adam Morgan as we switch away to Ollie Wayne, who has peeled off the circuit. He'll come to a stop to make sure he doesn't take out any other drivers. But we're back with the livery that resembles Adam Morgan's BMW livery of Sicily Motorsports. Deegan, who is 8th at the moment in the standings. We've just seen Josh Brown has gone into 16th. Just going to apologise as I've cleared my throat there. I am suffering with a little bit of a cold, so do excuse me if every now and again I do mute myself or have to every now and again. I do sincerely apologise, but actually as soon as the minute I landed from my honeymoon, a cold came on. It's not COVID, don't worry, I have been tested for that. But literally the minute I landed. Welcome back to Britain, Alex. But back with the racing. Qualifying, should we say. 4 minutes to go in this session. It does fly by, these sessions. We have the 10 minutes qualifying, and then it's followed by 3 15-minute races. The first of which, the grid, is formed by qualifying, of course, as it usually is in racing. The second race is formed by a reverse grid of the top 12 finishers from race 1, and race 3 is a full reverse grid. So plenty of action, and reverse grids usually mean very, very exciting, dramatic racing. So Gordon Much is in the pits. Mikey Doble's still out there, trying desperately to get ahead of his championship rival. His championship rival, who has now stretched a 50-point lead, or near 50-point lead, over this man, Mikey Doble, who is in third in the championship and third in the standings, as Blaze Crawford has just taken second in the standings. Blaze Crawford of the Pro-Am category is having a stormer tonight. But he's only 2.5 tenths clear of Deegan Fairclose, so it's certainly not going to be pulling away right away, but we'll see how he gets on. We've got Deegan Fairclose again here, following William Fall in the blue and pink Crest Autosport livery. The Sicily Motorsport livery taking a deeper line into the hairpin there. Back off a little bit from William Fall, it seems, trying to get some slipstream, but also trying to get a good lap in. The thing is, you don't... Oh, there's a big slide there for Deegan, and that will reset him to the pits. But he actually rejoins the track, and he'll go again. Ollie Peters joined the server rather late. A slightly different livery to William Fall up ahead. He's got the same livery but a white gradient on the front. And Ollie Peters third in the championship last season, so he's no slouch in these cars. Is Ollie Peters drove very, very well last season. I remember he drove exemplarily well at Lime Rock Park last season. We're waiting for that big break from Ollie Peters this season, but he is negotiating a broken foot, or broken leg, should I say. So, yeah, it's not going to be easy. even on a silly little Thrustmaster or whatever, he's got a Logitech wheel and pedal set. It's not easy even still. Particularly when you're going up against drivers like Mikey Doble and Gordon Much. Blaze Crawford, of course, got to include that if we're including Much and Doble. Speaking of which, Doble's still out there trying to get a better lap time. 0.174 off the pace of Gordon Much, who is content with his time, staying in the pits. He won't be able to get... Well, he actually might be able to get out right now and get another time in, but it doesn't seem to be leaving the pits at the moment. No, he doesn't. So, Gordon Much seems to think he's done enough. We have got Mikey Doble still to set another time. He'll finish this lap, and he only have one more lap to go. Luke Bennett, we've got to look out for him as well. Hasn't had much practice, as we've mentioned. He's second in the championship. He's got to do well. He's got to try and reel back in Gordon Much, who took a few more points out of him at Zandvoort 2 weeks ago. I'm not all too familiar with what happened at Zandvoort. I was only able to watch part of the broadcast. But Luke Bennett has another lap in the bank, but he's gone up to 4th place, and he's only 0.006 of a second behind Mikey Doble. So if he can improve this a little bit, he might be able to jump 3rd, but also 2nd. What about Mikey Doble? How is he getting on in this lap? Well, it's hard to tell until we get to the end of the lap here, but it is a very short lap indeed. The time is about to expire, so let's see if there's any drivers coming to the end of their lap. No, Mikey Doble has had enough. He doesn't think he can do any better, so he peels off to reset to the pits. Luke Bennett seems to be carrying on, and there's quite a few drivers out there. Got Deegan Fairclose as well. He'll cross the line here. Can he get himself higher up the order? 6th at the moment. No, he doesn't go any quicker, so he'll stay 6th for qualifying and on the grid. Bennett comes around the final corner for his final time in this session. He'll come across the line. Jumping up to 8th is Liam McNally, but Luke Bennett jumps up to 2nd place. A brilliant final lap from him. It's the same time as Blaze Crawford, but not even thousandths, 10,000ths of a second or something like that. Milliseconds. He has chipped ahead of Blaze Crawford to get himself on the front of the grid for this race here at Tsukuba. Got Wayne Douglas about to cross the line, as we have Jamie Dory. And across the line goes Jamie Dory, stays 9th. What about Wayne Douglas? Stays 7th. And that will conclude qualifying. What an interesting session that was. A brilliant final lap from Luke Bennett to take 2nd place in the dying moments of the session there. There is no warm-up in this series, so as soon as this qualifying session is expired, which it does so now, we're going to go straight into the race, and we'll go through the grid for this first race of the night. Gordon Mutch starts on pole position, as he usually does, ahead of his championship rival, Luke Bennett. Blaze Crawford waving the flag for the Pro-Am category in 3rd place there, just ahead of Mikey Doble in 4th. Donovan Strauss 5th, with Deegan Fairclough 6th. Wayne Douglas lines up 7th with Liam McNally in 8th. Jamie Dory lines up 9th alongside his teammate of NXTGEN Racing. 10th place is Lee Horn. Paul Heo in 11th alongside Ollie Wayne in 12th position. 13th to new driver Guido Cazina. And 14th is Ollie Peters. William Fall in 15th, followed by Josh Brown, and at the back, 17th place, Max Brady. We're about to go here for the NXTGEN Legends here at Tsukuba. This is Season 2, Round 5. Drivers lining up on the grid. We are just waiting for a few more drivers, and then we will be underway for race 1 of the night. It is such a short track here that some of the drivers, even with this relatively shorter grid than usual, 17 drivers are still having to line up on the grid around the corner at the back there. And of course, starting on a corner is not easy in any racing, particularly in iRacing. So we are all gridded up. Gordon Mutch is on the front row of the grid. Alongside him is Luke Bennett. Lights are turning red now. We are about to get underway here at Tsukuba. Away we go. Good start from Luke Bennett, straight ahead of Gordon Mutch, who's straggling behind a little bit. Blaze Crawford on the inside as we go into turn 1. Luke Bennett leads the way as we go into turn 1. And around the corner we go. Can Gordon Mutch fight back? Mikey Doble is there threatening him as well. But he's got himself back alongside Blaze Crawford and has the inside for the next corner of turn 4. Oh, and Mikey Doble has made contact with Wayne Douglas and his big pile up in the middle of the corner there. Doble's stuck there. Crawford's involved. Strauss involved. Josh Brown. And they all get away, but not very safe and sound. Mikey Doble there towards the back. Not the start that he wanted. But Luke Bennett leads away as we approach the end of the first lap here. We will get a replay of that, just as things calm down a little bit. Gordon Mutch in 2nd place there. Deegan Fairclough up to 3rd place. A brilliant start for him. But Blaze Crawford and Mikey Doble, the ones who have missed out the most. They've dropped all the way to the back. Blaze Crawford, the good qualifying session he had, is relatively undone. And we are looking at a 5-car battle here. Jamie Dory right in the middle there. Ahead of him is Wayne Douglas and Liam McNally. Behind him, Lee Horn and Ollie Wayne. Let's get a look at that replay. See if we can find it. So we look at Mikey Doble. Oh, and it was a tap on the rear. I think that was Donovan Strauss. Let's just get another look at it. Yeah, I think it is Donovan Strauss. Just outbroke himself. Wasn't able to avoid it. That sends them round and collects other cars. Better thing to do is to just stop when you are spinning around in the middle of the track, because you let other drivers go around you, but other drivers did get collected, unfortunately. Look at a big battle here going into turn 1. Jamie Dory on the inside of the 66 car of Wayne Douglas, near contact, but Jamie Dory just about keeps hold of it. Trying to hang on to that outside, but he'll be the outside for this corner, and it's not quite going to work. Oh, and there was contact in the end, but Wayne Douglas keeps hold of it, and Lee Horn capitalises. And now Ollie Wayne's back there in the 86 car, trying to capitalise on Jamie Dory's demise there. A little bit of a nudge at the rear of Wayne Douglas, and he just about managed to... Wayne Douglas managed to keep it going. That has let Liam McNally pull away a little bit, and we got Gordon Much right up on the rear of Luke Bennett. He swerves across the fence. Gordon Much with a big move up the inside, and he's kept it to the apex, and he has blocked Luke Bennett from making an undercut move coming out of the corner. Brilliant move from Gordon Much. All he needs to do is just outbrake Luke going into the corner, and Luke tried the same thing here. Gordon Much hangs it around the outside. Might be the quicker line here, but Luke Bennett hangs on to the outside. It will be the outside for the next corner, the next braking zone. Oh, and actually Luke Bennett is doing okay here. He might have just missed out now. Yes, he has. Look at that. Deegan Fairclough is in the wings here, gaining on these two drivers. First in the server means he's had the most practice. So Deegan Fairclough, it's paid off at the moment. Less than a second behind these two battling drivers. We have got, yet again, Wayne Douglas. And behind him is another next-gen car. He can't seem to shake off the orange, black and grey car. It is Lee Horn or Jamie Dory. And let's see how the guys who got caught up in the incident at the start of the race are getting on. Well, that's Mikey Doble there in 12th place, 8 places dropped. We've got Blaze Crawford back there. Gordon Much still leads from Luke Bennett, having taken the lead just over a lap ago. And Deegan Fairclough is looking to join in this party. This is good for his Pro-Am campaign. Here's Deegan Fairclough. He's 10th in the Pro-Am standings, but overall, he's tied 18th. This is good overall points for him, as well as his own category, and he's right up behind Luke Bennett. Brilliant driving from the Irishman at the moment. This is on board with Deegan, looking at the blue car ahead of Luke Bennett. It's a long right-hander, quite flat out. Gordon Much did lock the brakes a little bit there, might have flat spot his tyres a little bit. Might have lost a little bit of speed from these drivers as they gain a little bit on the straight here. Yes, they were, excuse me, and they were quicker on that previous lap, as you can see with the laps displaying there. A couple of tenths quicker. To the left-hander here. Is when you're at the top of the table here, it's quite tricky to find a move on another driver, because you're all at the top of your game, and well, all these drivers are at the top of their game, and they make very few mistakes. But speaking of mistakes, Gordon Much is under the cosh from Luke Bennett, who hangs it round the outside. Gordon Much keeping and covering the inside quite well. And when you do that in these cars... Oh, Luke Bennett well off the track there. It looked like he was trying to avoid Gordon Much, but Much wasn't that near him, and Much has understeered into the corner, and that allows Luke Bennett to undercut and get back ahead. And look at Deegan Fairclough on the outside here. He's got his nose ahead of Gordon Much there, but Much is much later on the brakes there going into turn 1. Deegan might be able to hang on to the outside here on this corner, and therefore the inside for the next corner. Into the hairpin will go. Deegan hangs on to the inside, locks up a little bit just to make sure he's late enough on the brakes. He's held up a little bit by Luke Bennett, and there's contact. Deegan spins. Deegan spins. He made contact with the two cars, and that's it. It sent him off. Oh, what a brilliant race he was having. It's just undone now. It's hard to tell who's to blame there, but That was so unfortunate for Deegan. He taps the rear of Luke Bennett and just seemed to go a little bit wider than Gordon Mutch was allowing there. And as mentioned, once you make contact in these cars, it's so difficult to get it back. And Gordon Mutch with that dive bomb again going into the final corner. Dive bomb's a little bit of a degrading term. The overtake on Luke Bennett there going into the final corner, and he couldn't quite make it work this time. Luke Bennett covers it off really well. Goes to cover the inside for turn one. And look who's catching up. Liam McNally. As these two are battling, they're a little bit slower than the other drivers around. Liam McNally was a second quicker on that previous lap. Because these two were squabbling, Bennett's on the inside, Mutch on the outside. Can't make it work here. We're over halfway through this race now. Plenty more to go. And back here we've got Lee Horn up into 4th place, one of the biggest gainers off the grid, along with Max Brady. 6 places gained for Lee Horn. He's heading this battle for 4th place. Oh, and look at this. Bennett guarding the inside yet again. Mutch trying to get an undercut here because there's lots of hairpins on this circuit. The undercut is quite common. And two very similar liveries in McNally and Gordon Mutch. Mutch goes to the inside and Bennett has to concede it at the moment. Tries and hangs it round the outside. He's hanging on to the outside very well here. They're side by side coming across the line to start their 10th lap. And look at McNally weaving all ways to try and look for a way into this battle. Oh, and sideways there is Luke Bennett. And he can't quite keep it going alongside Gordon Mutch, but he keeps the car going on the track. That's the important thing. And now he's under pressure from McNally. Stays in 2nd place though, does Gordon Mutch. Back here we got Lee Horn guarding off from Wayne Douglas. And Lee Horn has got a bit of coverage here from Jamie Dory in 6th place. Max Brady here in 10th place. He's got Mikey Dover right behind him. With 7 places gained so far for Max Brady, the biggest gainer of the grid. Gordon Mutch has broken away a little bit from Bennett. Will he be able to catch back up? We will see. Oh, look at this. We've got Lee Horn guarding the inside from Wayne Douglas. Oh, and Jamie Dory and Wayne Douglas have gone into each other. Wayne Douglas lost the rear end there and collects Jamie Dory. Let's just get a quick replay of that. Yeah, you just see him lose it on the marbles there. And Jamie Dory had nowhere to go. So that drops Jamie Dory down to 10th, and he's going to lose out to Mikey Doble and the number 5 car, Paul Hayo. Good move there from Mikey Doble, very brave to get into 9th place. But this promotes Ollie Wayne up to 5th place. 7 places gained for him. And Lee Horn seems to be out on his own. He can focus on catching his top 3. We're not getting much closer together. Mutch has gained a little bit of a gap, which in these cars is crucial. Deegan Thurglow is back up to 6th place despite his spin earlier. And look at this between Max Brady and Wayne Douglas. And Douglas has spun again. There might have been a bit of contact there. Let's take a look. Well, there was a bit. Yeah, the two just seem to come together. And that just sends Douglas straight into the wall. Well, it's a bad to worse race for Douglas. Max Brady still in the clear, as it seems. And Mikey Doble on the comeback. He's up to 8th place. This front 3. 4 minutes to go. Should be about 4 laps. Maybe 5 if you count the overtime. Gordon Mutch heads it again. Mutch with 5 wins, Bennett with 4. McNally has had 2 to his name, so all these drivers are previous race winners and looking to get another one on their tally. Lee Horn will be happy to find himself leading the Pro-Am category in this race. As you can see here, these are the standing the positions as of the categories. Pro-Am being in light blue, Pro drivers in black. Lee Horn will be pleased with that as he's 3rd in the Pro-Am standings coming into tonight's race. We've got Mikey Doble up to... Oh, and there's a spin back there. That was Ollie Peters. Oh, a bit of a nudge from behind from the 51 car. Not quite sure who those are. I'm just sent round by another. I think Ollie Peters will feel a bit hard done by that. Press on. This is Mikey Doble trying to stay ahead of Max Brady. Brady's got back in front. Brady wants the Forever Forward award. Oh, and a little bit of a nudge from the rear from Mikey Doble, but Max Brady in 7th place here with 10 places gained. Brilliant, brilliant race from him at the moment. Despite a few contacts here and there, kept it on the black stuff and off the green stuff. Doble not making a move into the hairpin here. Oh, was that a little bit of a cheeky nudge from Mikey Doble? I'm not too sure. It might not have been. We were a bit deceptive there with the camera angle. The Doble goes into 7th place. The comeback continues. But Max Brady, still biggest gainer of the field with 9 places gained. This is Liam McNally, and he's lost a bit of ground from Luke Bennett, and it's because Luke Bennett has put in some good times, and he has caught up to the back of Gordon Mutch yet again. 2 minutes to go, not many laps to go, either 2 or 3 laps to go for these drivers. This is the view from Luke Bennett, the race leader ahead of Barracuda Motorsport. I'm drawn to the attention that Barracuda spelt wrong on our timing thing. It's because the person who sent me the team name spelt it wrong. I thought it was a play on words, but never mind. Barracuda, I don't know. But we are about to start the 14th lap. Luke Bennett has dropped back a little bit from Mutch on this lap. Let's compare the times as they come across the line. I think there'll definitely be 2 laps to go now. So very even on times. In fact, only a few hundredths quicker. It's Gordon Mutch from Luke Bennett. Into the left-handed hairpin again. One of the few slow left-handers on this circuit. So this track is very, very demanding on the front left tyre, as there's a lot of right-handed corners. Bennett getting a bit squirrely going through the S's there. He'll start the final lap. Gordon Mutch looks to be on his way to another win number 6, unless Luke Bennett can say otherwise. It's the final corner. Do start their final lap now. Mutch a little bit quicker, just shy of a 10th quicker, but as you can see, oh, there's not much between them going into the corner. Excuse me, but Luke Bennett seemed to push a little too hard on corner entry, and it washed him out wide, and that has caused a little bit of a gap between him and Mutch, and Mutch will be glad to see that. Let's see what else is going on. Lee Horn looks to be on his way to a Pro-Am win here. And Ollie Wayne with probably his best result of the season. Bennett in 5th place. Deegan Ferkler with a good comeback to 6th place. Where he started, he was contending for the top spots. But be relatively pleased with 3rd still. Despite the potential position, what could have been. Gordon Mutch will come into the final corner though. The checker flag is waiting for him. Around this long sweeping right-hander, and then straight away across the line. Gordon Mutch takes his 6th win of the season. Luke Bennett takes 2nd place with Liam McNally in 3rd. Lee Horn takes the Pro-Am win and 4th place overall, with Ollie Wayne coming through in 2nd, just ahead of Deegan Ferklow. 3rd in category, 6th overall. Mikey Doble with a disappointing start to his day today, but 7th place for him. Max Brady, biggest gainer of the field, 9 places gained, and he takes 8th place. What on earth are they doing? Jamie Dory in 9th, and Donovan Strauss rounds up the top 10. Reverse grid goes to 12th place, and Blaze Crawford will start on pole position for race 2. Let's get through the results, and we can shoot off for a quick break. Oh my word. If anyone saw that, you know why I'm laughing. Oh, jeez. Alright, well, here's the results of race 1 of round 5 here at Tsukuba. Gordon Mutch takes the win from Luke Bennett and Liam McNally. Lee Horn takes 4th from Ollie Wayne in 5th, and Deegan Ferklow. Mikey Doble takes 7th from Max Brady in 8th, Jamie Dory in 9th, and Donovan Strauss 10th. Paul Hayo in 11th with Blaze Crawford in 12th, Wayne Douglas 13th with Guido Casinha in 14th, Ollie Peters 15th, William Fall 16th, and Josh Brown in 17th. The reverse grid is the top 12 position, so Blaze Crawford will be starting on the grid in race 2 in the pole position, and alongside him will be Paul Hayo. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back very, very soon with more Next Gen iRacing Legends action. We'll be back very soon. Welcome back everyone to the Next Gen iRacing Legends. Round 5 here from Tsukuba circuit in East Japan. It was an interesting first race, and race 2 probably will be even better. Here's the schedule for the season. We started off all them weeks ago at Silverstone, and then Red Bull Ring was round 2 of the championship, followed by Snetterton of round 3, and 2 weeks ago was the last round at Zandvoort. Round 5 today is at the Tsukuba circuit, and next week we'll be off to the Gilles Villeneuve circuit in Montreal. Round 7 will be the Alton Park circuit, followed by Nürburgring Sprintstrecke, which is a short version of the GP circuit. Round 9 will be the Donington Park National Circuit, which we see so many times in the British Touring Car Championship. Round 10 will be the WeatherTech Raceway, aka Laguna Seca, so we get to see these drivers in these cars plunge through the corkscrew, one of the world's most famous corners. Round 11 will be the shortened national version of the Barcelona circuit, the Circuit de Catalunya. And then the final round of the championship will be at the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, a classic circuit, end the championship. We're about to get underway for the next race of the night. Now, I would run through the championship standings, but somehow they've messed up in transitioning from the iRacing website to our software here, so apologies for that. So we'll have to read them out as best we can very quickly in the 5 seconds that we've got. Much leads the championship. In first from Luke Bennett and Mikey Doble still in third place. Jamie Dory, Lee Horner and William Fall are 1, 2, 3 in the Pro-Am Championship. Lee Horn and William Fall swapping places on that last race. So Lee Horn up to second in the championship of the Pro-Ams due to his win in category. But here is the grid as we have to go through it fairly quickly for this next race of the night. And that is not the grid. We'll reset and go again. There we go. Blaze Crawford starts on pole position from Paul Heo in second. Donovan Strauss third with Jamie Dory in fourth position. Max Brady lines up fifth with Mikey Doble in sixth. Deegan Ferkler in seventh with Ollie Wayne eighth. Lee Horn in ninth with Liam McNally 10th. 11th is Luke Bennett. 12th is Gordon Much. And in 13th is Wayne Douglas. Guido Cazigna in 14th place. 15th is Ollie Peters, 16th is William Fall, and 17th is Josh Brown. We're about to get underway here for the next race of the night, and we've got a little bit of time to kill before the drivers grid up, and we'll be underway for the racing. Again, just to explain, a reverse grid of the top 12 finishers from the first race of the night. So if you finish 12th in race 1, you start pole for this one. But all drivers are on the grid. Blaze Crawford is there in the pole position with Paul Hale in second place. Lights are red. Away we go. Blasting off the line go all the Legends cars, and up towards turn 1 we go. Blaze Crawford in the lead as we go into turn 1. And it's a pretty good start from him. Into turn 2 we go, and there's a 3 wide back there. It looks like it's Much and McNally. Oh, and there's a spin back there. I think that's Wayne Douglas. It is Wayne Douglas with more drama into the wall. But let's get back with this front pack. Look at all these gaggles of cars going through the narrow circuit of Tsukuba here, and they're all keeping themselves relatively out of trouble so far, with the exception of Douglas back there. Through the wiggly corners we go, up towards the right-handed bank corner here. Mikey Doble on the inside, and look, a big lock up there from a few drivers. In fact, that was Luke Bennett making contact with Lee Horn and others, and both of them pull off to the side there in the scramble they're caught up in. So Luke Bennett, with a bad start to this race, drops down, and Lee Horn, the winner of the Pro-Am category in the last race, drops down. But it's Blaze Crawford who leads the way at the front. He's ahead of Paul Heo and Donovan Strauss in third position. Gordon Much is already up 2 places. William Fall is up 5 places. A brilliant start to this race from him. Into turn 1 we go. Blaze from Georgia leads the way. He's got compatriot and fellow statesman Donovan Strauss in third place, but in between them two is Paul Hale, who has just been taken out by Donovan Strauss, and he's stuck in the middle of the track. He has to wait for all the traffic to pass by. Let's just get another replay of that from the view of Strauss. Very late on the brakes. Oh, he was coasting through the corner much quicker than I forgot the driver. Paul Hale was, and just seemed to, well, just couldn't seem to get away from him. And Crawford with a bit of a lead now, 3.5 seconds ahead of Strauss. Max Brady there in third position, a good race 1 for him, and looks like an even better race 2 for him. Jamie Dory, our league host, can't talk today, it's because of my cold. Oh, look at that big block from Deegan Ferklow on Mikey Doble there, but Mikey hangs on to it, hangs on to the inside, and he might be able to take the corner. No, he might not. The position's still up for grabs. Deegan Ferklow has the inside for the next corner. Left-hander coming up here. Deegan gets back in front, oh, very sideways in contact with Mikey Doble, and that is allowing Ollie Wayne through. Ollie Wayne on the outside there with the skull and crossbones livery on the back of his car, and look who's following these drivers through. It's Liam McNally and Gordon Murch, and contact on Mikey Doble. He slips out wide, and that allows William Fall through as well as Much and McNally. Look at William Fall here getting stuck into these drivers and trying to get himself up the order a bit more. He's alongside Ollie Wayne as well. Look at this race that William Fall's having so far. Very quiet in race 1. Complained before qualifying that he's hugely off the pace, but this race pace is looking very good so far. 7th place for him, 9 places gained. And he's ahead of Gordon Merchant, right behind Liam McNally, the 2 top spot winners in the first race. Crawford there in first place, still leading away. It says 7.6 seconds clear. That is not correct. Donovan Strauss back there. Let's get a good look at this. Deegan Ferklow heading this battle for 5th place. William Foyle there on the outside. Already gets it all out of shape. And that allows Mikey Doble back through. And he's into 8th place. And back behind his championship rivals, Much and McNally, which is where he doesn't want to be. He wants to be in front of them. The defending champion, his crown is slipping away race by race unless he has something to say about it. But we have seen Mikey Doble really grab the championship by the scruff of the neck in previous seasons. Might see it do it later on this season, who knows. Back towards the front, this is Blaze Crawford. His lead has been slashed by Donovan Strauss. So there could be a bit of a battle between these two in the waiting. Max Brady and Jamie Dory battling here for 3rd position. Blaze Crawford leading overall. He's leading the Pro-Am category as well. He'd be pleased by that. And Donovan Strauss equally happy that he's leading the Pro category right now. Oh, Gordon Much and Liam McNally alongside each other. And Much has made his way through. In fact, we are going to get a quick replay of that, as it just seems McNally has just let through Gordon Much. It's a very identical livery, so it's hard to tell one another. 48 is Gordon Much, and number 2 car is Liam McNally. Seemed like a tactical swap of positions there. Maybe Gordon Much is able to get McNally further up the grid. Luke Bennett here is on the back of this train that he wants to get involved in. He's got his championship rival, or 2 championship rivals, ahead up the road. Crawford leads another lap here. It says 8.9 seconds, that's not the gap. Our timing screen not really up to scratch right now. But that lead is coming down between Crawford and Strauss. So here we go. Crawford to just be waiting. If he knows the driver behind is catching, just bide his time. We'll let it come. He'll be prepared for the battle, I assume. Or he's pushing like crazy, but Donovan Strauss is still catching him. One or the other. Let's take a look back to this battle. Deegan Ferklow, who was, or probably should have been in amongst this battle with Gordon Much, and Luke Bennett, who's in 10th place at the moment. He just moves ahead of William Four here on the outside. The 2 side by side going into the final corner, but Deegan Ferklow up in 5th place there. He probably would have felt he could have got involved in that battle in the dying moments of the race. These 2 side by side still, and just nipping in front. Coming out of the corner there, Luke Bennett is up to 9th place. Can Gordon Much do? He knows Deegan Ferklow is no slouch on this circuit, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge to get by as they can work together to catch up with the other cars in front. They've got 3rd and 4th ahead of Max Brady and Jamie Dory. Jamie Dory leading the Pro-Am Championship coming into tonight as he makes a move on the inside of Max Brady, and that will be third overall and second in category. Not a very good exit from Jamie Dory though. We'll see what he can do on the next corner. He has the inside for the next corner, but granted it's the very long right-hander at the final corner here at Tsukuba. Max Brady with a very late break, and he might have just hung on to that. Very brave corner indeed from Max Brady, and he hangs on to third place. Not today, he says to Jamie Dory. Bit of a lunge up the inside there from Dory, but he's not able to make it work. It's turning into it will turn into a bigger battle for third here. Max Brady heading it, and it could go as far as Micah Doble, even Luke Bennett, if more laps pursue with these drivers squabbling for position. Brady and Dory will be conscious. The car's catching behind, and a bit of a slip up coming out of the hairpin there from Max Brady. Jamie Dory has got a little bit of a run. He'll find his way back up the inside. We've got Gordon Much up the inside of Deegan Furclow as well. So two battles to watch here. Dory versus Brady, and they're very close together, but Much has seemed to found his way ahead of Furclow and can set his sights on the top three here, who are side by side as we approach turn one. Jamie Dory, will he have the inside for turn one? Yes, he does. Better than a lap ago, and they're so close together going around this corner. But Max Brady will hang on to the left side of Jamie Dory, and therefore the inside for the next corner might be able to hang on to the position. And Deegan Furclow is fighting back at Gordon Much as the outside, but he might be isolated out there, as on the inside also is Liam McNally. Oh, and he's blocked off by Gordon Much. Cheeky block there from Gordon, but Deegan just about hangs on to it. Not what happened in the last race where Deegan got into contact with either Much or Bennett and was sent off the track. Right in the thick of it is Deegan Furclow, and a bad exit again from Dory and Brady up here. Brady hanging on to third place, but Blaze Crawford is also hanging on to first place up here. It seems that Donovan Strauss can't seem to get right up and pass Crawford, as we see Jamie Dory losing out at the moment to Gordon Much. It just seems Much had a better run down the straight and was able to get on the inside for the final corner, his favourite place to make a move it seems. He has the inside for the long right-hander here. Jamie Dory a little bit too far wide, not able to fight back. This promotes Gordon Much up to fourth place. He can set his sights on third place, leaving his rivals behind. And look at Deegan Furclow with the big lunge up the inside of Jamie Dory. That was a big move indeed, and in fact contact between the two. Jamie Dory is sent off onto the gravel and the grass, and he'll lose more positions. Won't be too pleased about that, will Jamie Dory, as he's lost out to Mike Doble, he's losing out to Luke Bennett as well, it seems. Bennett on the outside tries an undercut on Jamie Dory. This is the view from Liam McNally. In front of him is Deegan Furclow. And we've got Gordon Much pulling up alongside Max Brady. This is the move for third place. He's got the inside for the corner. He brakes way later. And that's the ideal position to be in to block off the inside for the next corner. Oh, and there's contact back there. Liam McNally is sent into the wall. So coming out the corner. Oh, he comes across and Deegan Furclow is still there. And that's it. Once a little bit of that rear rail or rear bumper on the car has contact, it sends you into the wall. Liam McNally out of this race. What was looking like a decent race from him. But this show does still go on. And Mikey Doble has promoted himself to 5th place. Deegan Furclow still in 6th. He's now battling with Jamie Dory, fellow Pro-Am driver. They've also got Luke Bennett still to worry about. And Jamie Dory and Bennett make contact, but they still just about keep it going. I am having to mute every few seconds. I do apologise. I'm having to cough because I'm getting a bit too excited. Right. So, Jamie Dory and Luke Bennett got away with that just about. They have to be careful. But Luke Bennett is past Jamie Dory, so he needs to set his sights on getting a few more positions. He needs to get as close as he can to Gordon Mutch, his championship rival. Equally, he needs to be as close as he can to Mikey Doble to concede less positions to him, who's behind in the championship. Blaze Crawford still leading the race here. And behind him is Donovan Strauss. And they've had a relatively easy race thus far, but they've had to push each other. Both of them will want the win. So they're pushing each other on, and they're having to keep themselves honest. But with 2.5 minutes to go. With 2.5 minutes to go, they can ease off a little bit, it seems. Gordon Mutch here in third place. Got himself up from 12th to third place. A good race from him. Biggest gainer of the field with 9 places gained. Max Brady's had a good race here. Although he's been knocked off the final step of the podium, he's kept himself in amongst those pro drivers, keeping himself in that high position. Blaze Crawford starts another lap here. I think he'll have 2 more laps to go. And Donovan Strauss is actually putting the hammer down here. Might have been conserving his tyres. And he might have put the hammer down in these final 2 laps to catch up with Crawford. Saving his pace while Gordon Mutch in third place back there is using up his tyres and getting amongst the battling. And Strauss puts his foot down here. He keeps himself not only safe with Gordon Mutch behind, but can catch up with Crawford. And has a mechanical grip advantage on Crawford for this final part of the race. But catching's one thing, passing is another. And these cars are very, very difficult to negotiate in a battle situation on track. We'll see what Strauss can do, and we'll see how well Crawford can defend. This will be the white flag waved for the drivers. The final lap will begin as they come around this final corner here. Can Crawford pick up his first win in the series, not just of the season? But in Next Gen Legends history, Crawford might be able to pick himself his first win. Equally might Strauss. Between these 2 drivers, a couple of shuffle positions back there. I think Jamie Dory and Deegan Fairclough are battling back there. Let's just have a quick look at them. They are side by side. Oh, and Deegan Fairclough with a bit of a ping issue there. Oh, so close between him and Jamie Dory, but Dory has the inside. This is for third place in category, 7th place on track. Jamie Dory gets himself back ahead. Meanwhile, with these 2, it doesn't seem Strauss is... Oh, is he? Oh, he was. He did get very, very close there. A little bit of a lock-up from Crawford. And Strauss had to evade. But it seems the gap is big enough between these 2 drivers going into this final corner for Crawford to take what will be his first ever Next Gen Legends win. Oh, and wide off goes Donovan Strauss. He might concede second here, but Crawford wins the race here at Tsukuba. Brilliant fashion. Takes his first win in Next Gen Legends, and Strauss, despite the mistake on the final corner there, does take second. Gordon Mutch takes third. A brilliant comeback through the field and the biggest gainer of the field. Max Brady, a brilliant race from him, takes 4th position, with Mikey Doble in 5th. Luke Bennett comes through in 6th, with Jamie Dory in 7th. 8th finishes Deegan Fairclough, another race that could have been for him, but a little bit of contact involved denied that. Lee Horn in 9th, and William Foyle rounds off the top 10. A storming start to his race, and 6 places gained, so a good race for William Foyle. Well, despite some brief muting for coughing and sneezing and all sorts for myself, apologies again, every now and again I do that, but I'm not feeling well. These are results of race 2 of the night for round 5 here at Tsukuba for the Next Gen iRacing Legends. Blaze Crawford takes his win in the Pro-Am category and overall. Donovan Strauss just about missing out in second place there. Gordon Mutch with another podium position, third place for him. Max Brady in fourth position and second in category, with Michael Doble taking fifth overall. Luke Bennett in sixth with Jamie Dory in seventh. Deegan Furclow eighth. Ninth is Lee Horn with William Fall in 10th. Guido Casina in 11th. Followed by Ollie Peters in 12th. Ollie Wayne in 13th. Wayne Douglas in 14th. Paul Heo with drama on the first lap in 15th. Liam McNally in 16th and Josh Brown in 17th. This has been race 2 of the iRacing Next Gen Legends. We'll be back in just a few moments' time for race 3. Don't go away.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always
Welcome back everyone to the Next Gen iRacing Legends Round 5 here at Tsukuba, and this is race 3 of the night. My name is Alex Everett, your commentator on behalf of Next Gen on Facebook, Crest Autosport TV on Twitch and YouTube. Welcome along to tonight's final race of the night. It's been an eventful first 2 races of the night. We've seen a few incidents, we've seen people come through the grids, we've seen people triumph for the very first time in this championship. But what will race 3 bring us? Well, we'll find out in the next 20 minutes or so. But in the meantime, let's have a little bit more housekeeping just to let you know of what's going on. You can still enter this championship if you wish to. There are plenty of spaces available still in this championship. I think most of the circuits that we race on can fit up to 32 drivers, or even more than that potentially. But this is the schedule that we're undergoing. Although we are significantly through the season so far, you can still get involved. Plenty of reason to get involved, as it's great racing. Silverstone started us off all them weeks ago, and we followed that with the Red Bull Ring new at the time circuit on iRacing. Gt3 300 layout was round 3 of the championship, with round 4 taking place at Zandvoort 2 weeks ago. Round 5 today here at Tsukuba. Next week we're off to Canada for the Gilles Villeneuve Montreal circuit for round 6. Round 7 the championship back to Britain for the Alton Park International circuit, followed by round 8 the Nürburgring Sprint Strecker circuit, which is a shorter version of the GP circuit that we know so well from Formula 1, DTM, GT, etc, etc. Round 9 will take place at the Donington Park National Circuit on the 11th of October. Round 10 will be the WeatherTech Raceway in the US, aka Laguna Seca. Round 11 will be at Barcelona, the Circuit de Catalunya, for the 11th and penultimate round of the season. And round 12 will be the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, where the British Touring Car Championship usually ends its campaign. We'll be ending it there as well for a thrilling round on the short but classic and legendary circuit. Legendary suiting these cars, the legends on iRacing. A free car on iRacing, and it is the car you'll drive on your first escapades in oval racing. So although oval racing might not be your cup of tea, you can still use these cars for regular circuit racing, particularly in leagues such as this one, Next Gen Racing iRacing Legends. But this is a car that you will use in your rookie license days on iRacing to get yourself from oval license rookie to D, where you'll race the nationwide series, and then up to C, where you can race the truck series and IndyCar, and then it goes up and up and up to A license, where you race regular NASCAR Cup Series races. And one of the drivers who likes his oval racing is this man here, Ollie Peters. Likes his NASCAR racing. And it is pretty much the pedigree of iRacing is oval racing. They know their thing or two about a thing or two when it comes to oval racing, do iRacing, but they have excelled in other mediums of racing, particularly in GT racing. Dipped into Formula 1 racing with the Williams of 2014? I don't know, not quite sure. And there's a McLaren from a few years ago from the hybrid era. I believe it's the 2017 McLaren. Might be wrong about that as well. There's plenty of other cars available on iRacing. With Next Gen Racing and iRacing is concerned, we've got the Monday nights here in the Legends, but also Wednesday nights. Tune into Next Gen on YouTube, Twitch or Facebook, and you can catch the Gt3 Championship hosted by Matt Emmons. A very, very good championship indeed, very entertaining. You can still enter that, or you can just watch it on the channel. That is the Gt3 Championship on Wednesday nights. We're about to get underway here for the third race of the night. We'll go through the grid very shortly. It's a full reverse grid from the race 2 results, so we'll go through that grid very, very shortly. So there we go, the drivers will line up at this cloudy Tsukuba circuit. And this will be the grid for Race 3 of the night. Paul Hale will start on pole position with Wayne Douglas in second position. Ollie Wayne will line up third place with Ollie Peters alongside him. Guido Cazina in fifth place with William Fall lining up sixth. Lee Horn will line up seventh with Deegan Fairclough in eighth. Jamie Dory ninth with Luke Bennett 10th. Mikey Doble in 11th. Max Brady in 12th. Gordon Much 13th. Donovan Strauss in 14th, race 2 winner Blaze Crawford in 15th, and Liam McNally rounding off the grid in 16th. He starts at the back because he was a DNF classified in the previous race. So here we go. This is the Next Gen Racing iRacing Legends at Tsukuba. Lights are about to come on the screen now. Paul Hale in pole position with Wayne Douglas in second place. Away they go. And it's a pretty good start from Wayne Douglas on the inside, but he's not able to challenge Paul Hale to the inside of turn 1. Paul Hale with a few ping issues, it seems. He disappeared from our screen just a moment there. It's a very dark Tsukuba circuit here. We're peering through the dark here to see all the drivers. And they all get through turn 1 and 2 safely. Going into turn 3. Can they make it? Deegan Fairclough nearly runs into Ollie Peters on his outside there, but he makes it through, and into the middle complex we go. We see the two pink and blue cars of Ollie Peters and William Fall there, trying to feed their way through this battle here, try and keep themselves out of trouble. And look at Deegan Fairclough here on the outside of Ollie Wayne, but out front it is Paul Hale leading from Wayne Douglas. Ollie Wayne is battling here for third place with Deegan Fairclough. Look at all these cars come down the back straight here. Into the long right-hander we go. Ollie Wayne on the inside. Can't quite make it past Deegan Fairclough, who has had such rotten luck tonight. He's been full of beans tonight. Such great pace in that car. But he hasn't been able to pick up the results due to a bit of bad luck here and there. We got a 3 wide going into turn 1. Ollie Peters on the outside, William Full on the middle, and on the inside is Luke Bennett, and Luke Bennett might have well found his way through. Ollie Peters concedes the position, but William Full is hanging on to that left side of Luke Bennett, and he will retain the inside, but not the position just yet. Ollie Peters a little bit sideways, a little bit of contact from the rear from Jamie Dory, but he keeps it going. We have also got Lee Horn battling with Guido Cazina. We haven't mentioned him much tonight in the 89 car there, the Jaguar replica livery. And he is slotted in the middle there between number 51. Which is a difficult... Oh, and this contact made, and Guido goes into the wall. That's a heavy crash indeed. I think that was Max Brady involved with him. Oh, there was a bit further up. Let's get another quick replay. So that's Mikey Doble on his inside, and not enough room for the two cars. That is race over for the Italian driver. And he filters off into the pits. The race goes on. Hopefully we see Cazina back next week at Montreal for a bit of redemption. Mikey Doble back there alongside Ollie Peters. It's the winner of last season against third, and Ollie Peters takes a spin. There might have been contact involved there, but he spins off the track and loses contention in the field here. Oh, I'm not sure if it was contact. It might have been the curb. There was a little bit of contact to finish it off from, I think it was Liam McNally. And a bit of drama already in this race. Another 15-minute race this is. There's no longer races. It's all exactly the same, just with reverse grids. Paul Hale still leads. And he is right ahead of Wayne Douglas. Wayne Douglas, whose teammate Blaze Crawford won in race 2, excuse me. Oh, and Max Brady has had an incident. So it's a 57 car here. Oh, and he's got a nudge from the rear. And it says 51 on that car. I've got no 51 in my timing delta here. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. But Max Brady, a victim of a big, heavy contact there. Jamie Dory, big battle with Lee Horn and Ollie Wayne. Ollie Wayne has really surprised me today. He's been quiet much of the season, but he's been right in the thick of the action today, and it's been great to see. Gordon Much is down in 14th place. He's been involved in an incident somewhere, and he's well down the order. Oh, look at all these cars gagging for position back here. Wayne heading them, and he's just ahead of McNally, who tries to find the inside. He's blocked it off well, has Wayne, but still trying to find the inside is McNally. Very well found it. Hogs the inside, guards it off from Lee Horn, who's got Mikey Doble to worry about as well. Look that to the inside. Oh, McNally found the inside, but Ollie Wayne couldn't react quick enough to him being on his inside. And on the outside there is Blaze Crawford, the race 2 winner. Different livery on his car in this race. Strange. His mechanics work quick. And what a battle we're witnessing here. And William Full is at the head of this battle. 5th place for him. He expected a pretty bad night from himself, but he's doing okay. He's in the top 5 right now. And we got Luke Bennett looking to the inside of Deegan Fairclough here. This is for 3rd place. And we still got Paul Hale leading this race from Wayne Douglas, by the way. And through goes Luke Bennett. This is a big opportunity for him to get some points on Gordon Much. Much is down in 14th place. Luke Bennett makes his way into 3rd now. Deegan Fairclough is not able to fight back on this corner just yet. Back here, still a big battle going on for 5th place. It's split up a little bit between Lee Horn and Mikey Doble. Doble's being pulled back a little bit by Crawford and Wayne. Strauss and Peters are in there as well. Oh, no, it's Strauss and Wayne and someone else that I can't see. Ah, it's a back marker of Max Brady. He's in there. So he will be... Yeah, he waved the blue flag and they have let him by. That was a bit confusing. So these front two, Paul Hale still leads. Him and Wayne Douglas. Not much battling from them so far. It's very dark out there. It's quite tricky to see. I'm having to squint my eyes a little bit. Oh, and something's happened to Donovan Strauss. We're looking at Donovan Strauss. He's down in 15th now. Oh, and he just gets loose. And that's it. He wasn't able to save the car. That is race over for Donovan Strauss. 2nd place in race 2. And race 3 just hasn't quite gone to plan. Jamie Dory has dropped down a few places here. He's lost out to McNally and Lee Horn, it seems, here. So let's get a quick replay of what's happened to Jamie Dory here. So he's on the outside. Oh, he just goes very, very wide at the hairpin there. Just couldn't quite get it into the corner quick enough. That demotes him to 7th. Liam McNally, biggest gainer of the field, 10 places gained so far. Back to the front. Bennett has caught up with Douglas. It's now a 3-way battle for the top spot. Bennett looks to the inside. He gets it through on Wayne Douglas, not wasting any time whatsoever. Into 2nd place he goes with a well-executed move. Luke Bennett looking for win number 5 and looking to get further ahead in the closer, should we say, to Gordon Much in the championship, who's down in 13th at the moment. Our championship leader. And this will also get him further away from Mikey Doble, who's down in 8th place as well. There's been a big incident further down the field. It's involved William Full and Lee Horn. So coming into the hairpin. Oh, it's a big nudge from Lee Horn. And it sends William Full round. That definitely didn't look purposeful. It looked like a genuine mistake from Lee Horn there. And it sends William Full round. And Lee Horn did the right thing of staying behind to wait. They're down in 10th and 11th now. Luke Bennett right behind Paul Hale, who hasn't won a race yet this season. Bennett has. He'll be looking for race win number 5, and he looks to the outside. Can he make it round? It's not the better line to have, and it's getting so dark here. It's actually getting more and more difficult for us to see. And these drivers haven't got any lights, so it might be even more difficult for them. Into the hairpin we go. This might be the move for the lead and the race win. We will find out. But through goes Bennett, and Fairclough has made a move on Wayne Douglas as well for 3rd place. So Luke Bennett not wasted any time here. He's up into the higher positions. Much is up to 12th, but Bennett in 1st place here. This will certainly help Bennett in the championship. Deegan Fairclough with a little bit more luck in this race. Touch wood, touch wood. And he is getting on really well. Back into the top 3 where he could have been in the first race. He could have been in the second race. But him and Ollie Wayne are 2 drivers that have really taken this field by storm tonight and have been relatively quiet in other races. It's very, very dark here. Let's get on board. This is the view from Deegan Fairclough, and you can see the track fairly well despite the darkness here. There's a few lights shining down on the circuit, but yeah, my eyes are squinting a little bit. I'm sure these drivers' eyes are a little bit as well. A little bit of a spotlight on the turn 4 here. Let's see what else is going on in the field. This is Lee Horn ahead of Mikey Doble. Mikey Doble somehow... Oh, he went off track a bit earlier on. I missed that. So this is Mikey Doble. And he was much higher up in the field. Oh, and there's a big nudge from the rear from the number 4 car of Blaze Crawford, our race 2 winner. And that sends Mikey Doble off. He has not had much luck tonight either as Mikey Doble. And he's down in 11th place, battling with Lee Horn and William Full here. And we still are struggling to see, more and more so as time goes by. And we've got 4 minutes to go. Let's see how much darker it gets. I'm really struggling to see her. I don't know about you guys. And Mikey Doble there on the inside of Lee Horn. Someone's gone off the track there. Bit of dust being left behind. I can't quite see who it is because it's so dark. And Lee Horn fighting back on Mikey Doble here. And he does fight back rather well. Holds the inside going into 2-1. But Mikey Doble hangs on to the outside and keeps it alongside, which means he'll have the inside for the next corner. That's the way these legend cards work. If you have momentum for the next corner, you best hang on to it. And that gets Doble back into the top 10. Luke Bennett leads away at the top. Fairclough has found his way into second place, and this is the replay of the move, if you can see. What a big lunge up the inside, and in fact that caught even Paul Hale by surprise. Big move from Deegan Fairclough. Oh, and William Full has had an incident. Literally just as we were about to flick back there, and it involves him and Mikey Doble. He went to defend the inside, and Mikey Doble was adamant he was going to have the inside there, but Foyle goes into a half spin and has to rejoin. That will be one for the stewards later on, I reckon. Deegan Fairclough, he is not letting Luke Bennett get away. The Pro-Am driver versus the Pro driver. Deegan has been one of the stars of tonight, despite a few incidents here and there. A bit of bad luck here and there. He has really, really brought the bacon in. He's left Paul Hale for dead, and it's between these 2 drivers. Fairclough might be able to battle for a win in the race here if he can get a bit closer to Luke Bennett, but Luke Bennett is second in the championship. He's second in the championship for a reason. This will be win number 5 of the season for Bennett if he can hang on to it. Oh, and he goes a little bit sideways going into the final corner. That very sideways indeed. I'm not sure if he's showing off or not though. And this is incredibly dark now for us as viewers. This is the view from the driver, and Bennett's just swinging the car around sideways. I'm not sure if he's doing it on purpose. Probably is, actually. Fairclough is real close now. Golden Rush is down in 12th, so it means Luke Bennett gains a huge amount of points in the championship. There's a big battle going on between Lee Horn and Mikey Doble, so let's switch to that. There's been a fair few swaps between them. This is going into the first corner. Doble up the inside. Horn hangs on to the outside. They're still going now live. Horn hangs on to the inside. Doble has to try and keep it around the outside. Does he do that on this corner? No, he doesn't. He tries to go for an undercut. Yes, he does. He does get it back on the outside. Oh, real undercut on the right-hander there. Round the outside here. That is some superb battling from these 2 drivers. And Lee Horn still hanging on to the outside. Fantastic driving from them 2. That was great to watch. Yeah, this is getting silly how dark it is. And Bennett has been caught by Deegan Fairclough here. This could be a battle on this penultimate lap and the final lap coming up next. Fairclough could get his first win in the championship, in the series, if he can make a way past Luke Bennett. Will we see it though? Luke Bennett's still switching it sideways. I'm not sure why he's doing that. Look at Deegan Fairclough, a big run on the blue Frosty's liveried car of Luke Bennett. Coming into the final corner, Deegan doesn't go for the inside. He waits. Is he going to wait for the same move in the next lap? Is that a bad decision? I'm not too sure. White flag waves for these drivers. Fairclough looks to the outside. Covering the inside is Luke Bennett. Oh, and a big swing round the outside here from Fairclough. Can he hang on to it? Will he have the inside of the next corner? No, he won't. It's covered by Luke Bennett. Only a few more corners to give it a go. Paul Hale's looking in the wings here. Deegan Fairclough looks to the outside again. Bennett covers it off though. After what's been a difficult night for Fairclough, this will be a brilliant way to top off an unlucky night for him. A bit of luck in this third race. And great driving to get himself top spot. But second place is still pretty good. He's only got one more opportunity though. It will come on this next corner. Luke Bennett got a good exit from that last corner though. Up we approach to the final corner. If you can see these drivers in the dark here. Fairclough looks to the inside. Bennett has gone a little bit wide. Fairclough looks to the inside. We might have a photo finish here. Across the line will go. Bennett takes the win from Fairclough, but only by 85 thousandths of a second. Brilliant racing between the two of them. Heyo comes in third place with Liam McNally in fourth. And we can't even see through the smoke now, let alone the darkness. Wayne Douglas takes fifth place with Jamie Dory in sixth, for crying out loud. Place Crawford seventh with Ollie Wayne in eighth. Mikey Doble takes ninth place with Lee Horn in 10th. But our race winner for the fifth time this season is Luke Bennett. And there we go. The sun sets, I think, on a pretty decent night here at Tsukuba. What great racing we have witnessed. A few incidents here and there, we've got to admit. But wow, we saw some great battling, particularly in the final few laps there between Mikey Doble and Lee Horn. That was a great battle. And Bennett versus Fairclough, brilliant to watch. But these are the results of the final race of the night. Bennett takes the win, his fifth win of the season from Deegan Fairclough in second. Paul Hale in third with Liam McNally in fourth. Wayne Douglas takes fifth from Jamie Dory in sixth. Blaze Crawford in seventh and Ollie Wayne in eighth. Mikey Doble takes ninth from Lee Horn in 10th. Gordon Much takes 11th after a difficult start to this race with William Fall in 12th and his teammate behind in 13th, Ollie Peters. Guido Cazzini did finish in the end despite the incident, 14th for him. Donovan Strauss a non-finisher as well as Max Brady. Well, this has been the Next Gen iRacing Legends here at Tsukuba. This is round 5 of the championship. On behalf of Next Gen and Crest Autosport, thank you for watching on Next Gen's Facebook channel. Give them a like and follow to stay in touch with the championship and other championships that Next Gen are hosting. And do give us a like and follow and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch for Crest Autosport to keep watching the Next Gen Legends. And of course, on Thursday nights coming up soon, the Crest Autosport in alliance with Next Gen Racing World Touring Car Challenge, which will be starting not this Thursday, but the following Thursday. Coming up next for the Legends, however, we have got round 6 at the Gilles Villeneuve Montreal circuit on the 13th of September. Tune in at about 7:45 UK time to watch that race as it happens live. I've been Alex Everett, and this has been the Next Gen iRacing Legends. Thank you for watching. Good night.